This is the feature race then, the Centenary Vase, race number 7. It's a Group 3 contest over 1,800 metres, run under handicap conditions, headed by last year's winner in Exultant. He'll jump from barrier number 3 under the 133. Fiore, who was 5th on International Day behind Nomcor in the Cup. Columbus County just behind Exultant on International Day in the Vase. Mogul, of course, winning that race. Time what we assume will roll forward. Harmony Victories coming out of the January Cup. Shafano round behind Mogul International Day. Savvy 9 won the January Cup. Got Ho Ho Khan with the blinkers going back on. Singapore Sling also had the January Cup, and Glorious Dragon as well, who finished 2nd at Happy Valley behind Savvy 9. Now Columbus County is the only one of these that's spent any time at Chung Fa within the last 30 days. As we have a look at the speed map here at the touchscreen, Tom, and as far as the pace is concerned, we're saying good to slow probably in the early stages. What are the possible changes here with Time Warp we've got as our natural leader?
Yeah, well, Tony Cruz with the top 3 there, Time Warp, Exultant and Furore. He'll be up on the pace looking to try and dictate it and run it to suit himself for Time Warp, but just not sure how well he's going at the moment, albeit it was only this time, or a month or so later this time last year, that he fired up at the Gold Cup. So he'll be there. Exultant, if there's needs to be some pressure added, it'll probably come down the side, I think, probably from Exultant. Furore there with Harmony Victory. Looks a little tricky for Karis Teton on Singapore Sling, but they do get a very good long run down the back straight to here at Sha Tin with the 1,800 metre start, so he might be able to slot in somewhere. Columbus County and Ho Ho Khan, they'll be looking for a little bit of pace on. For them to be able to run on from the tail. But Time Warp, as per normal, he'll be leading. All
right, OK. What about track work, Paul? What are we looking at?
He's posing at the camera here, Exultant. He's having a good look there as he comes down. Look, he's going nice enough. He's a 7-year-old now. He's gone out favourite at his last 5 starts and was beaten favourite last 3. Don't know if he'll start favourite, though, this race. I think this horse might. Fiore, his stablemate, he's going nicely as well, and he's had a really good season this season. As last 2 runs before International were both very good and did come up against Normcore there. And Savvy 9, look, he finally won a race after 17 starts, but he'd been really consistent in the higher grades, going through the 4-year-old series and whatnot. And I thought it was a strong win from him at Happy Valley last time. He looks good here once again.
Interesting to see he's come at quite a big price again, Savvy 9. Let's start off, though, with the defending champ and reigning horse of the year, Exultant. We caught up with Zach at Trackwork.
Exultant, Zach, he's trying to win the Centenary Vase for the 3rd straight time. He's gone close without winning this season. Now as a 7-year-old, how do you feel he's going?
Yeah, he's probably not racing at the same level this season as he was last season, of course. But, you know, he's getting older, as they all do get. But he's racing honest. He's still giving everything he's got. You know, it's a race where he gives himself a chance again. And, you know, the other horses have to turn up on the day to be able to beat him. He's still going to run a good, honest race. And if they don't turn up, you know, he could have his day again.
What was your take on his performance in the Vase? Were you surprised that he wanted to over-race as well that day?
Yeah, it's a tendency he had it early in his career, and then, you know, he sort of worked things out a little bit and relaxed nicely and put a lot of good performances through. But I did notice at the back end of last season he started to get a little bit aggressive in his races again, and then this season he's sort of carried that through and he's becoming more and more aggressive all the time. So, you know, it could be a sign that he is tired, he is getting a little bit older. You know, horses do things like that for a reason, and, you know, he's clearly hasn't shown us his best form yet this season, but he's a type of horse that could turn it on at any time.
And last time out you rode Glorious Dragon, who's one of horses getting a lot of weight off Exultant. Could he be a threat in this race?
Yeah, sure. He trialled really well here last week with Matty Poon on him, and his run at the Valley with me was really, really good. Gets in with a really light weight, so sure he's going to be respected.
And just a final question for you. This stage of the season, nearing the halfway mark of the season, the scoreline reads Marrera 77, Purton 54, but we know you've bridged these big gaps before. How are you feeling about the jockeys race at this stage of proceedings?
Yeah, it probably looks like it's over at this stage. Joe's had all the support so far this season. He's been riding for all the stables that have been on fire at the right times and been able to make the most of those opportunities. So he's got a nice gap, and I'd prefer to be in his position.
Joe will be riding. He's probably one of his main rivals in Fiore as well. But what of Exultant then, Tom? If you're going to win this race, then you'll know you've been in a race anyway to beat him.
Absolutely, because he's a war horse and gives 100% all the time, does Exultant. So just wondering if he's going as well as he can do at this moment. He was, what, 1.8 early in markets, or 1.4 or something like that. I don't think I'd be shopping that sort of price around him, Paul.
No, I wouldn't be either. But look, he is... You know, the others have to turn up. I think Zach said that, didn't he? And you know he's going to run an honest race. It's just age catches up with all of us, I think, at some stage.
All right, well, let's have a look at this run on International Day, and we saw a little bit of that as well. Here he is out in front as they swing for home. This is 2,400 metres, of course, the Vase. The ultimate winner is Mogul there in Michael Tabor's colours, but this is a big run from Columbus County, only half a length behind Exultant. We've got Ho Ho Khan getting the blinkers on, and Shafano as well. Paul, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I think Shafano and Ho Ho Khan are real stars. So 2,400 metres back to 1,800 is probably not ideal for them. Columbus County may be going the same way as well, but he has won over the 1,800 metres a couple of times, has Columbus County recently. So of the three, he'd be the one I'd be more interested in.
Yeah, I've got Columbus County certainly in the mix. I put him into second. In fact, it was a game effort, I thought, in the Vase. He settled towards the rear. And to look at him here over the final stages, he was still really taking ground off Exultant there. So I think there was plenty to like about what he did last time at Columbus County. Just the way he got to the line there. He was no match for Mogul, but he got very close to Exultant in the end.
He did. There's a good piece on the website as well. Casper Fowles talking about Columbus County later on in the season as well, back up in trip once more. This is the January Cup, Tom. Savvy 9 was pretty good actually this night as well in winning, but we got the horses behind him. Glorious Dragon finishing in second place. Singapore Sling ultimately third. Better run from him. Harmony Victory, and of course Time Warp out in front still at this point.
Yep, he made all but weakened over the final stages. The problem with this is with Harmony Victory, keeps missing the start, and then that puts him on the back foot. But he ground away, but there was nothing wrong at all with the win from Savvy 9. That was his first win here in Hong Kong, and picked them up and put them down nicely here. Trying hard was Glorious Dragon. I've certainly got Savvy 9 in, Paul, on this group performance last time out.
Yeah, they both come in really well at the weights, don't they? They're both on 113 pounds, you know, with these top-class horses in there. So, look, I give them both a little chance.
All right, back at the trials here, Paul. This is Fiore warming up for Sunday.
Yeah, so nice trial here from Fiore here, and he just comes down the outside nicely. Look, he was, a really good turn of foot when he first started off this season with those 2 wins. Look, he was sort of a little bit below par, I'd say, behind Normcore, but Normcore, she's a genuine Group 1 horse. With this trial under his belt, he's the pick for me from Tony Cruz's horses.
No, I don't think he had too many excuses last time out, either did Fiore, but in that trial he was 3 wide throughout, travelled strongly, and there was no real pressure over the final stages. So he'd be the one I'd be certainly looking at.
Should have pointed out as well, that was Exultant at the back of the field as well, but he very rarely does much the trial, so we're just focusing on Fiore for that one. But he is our favourite, Paul, here, Exultant still.
Yeah, I'd be more interested in the 7.3 about Fiore. I don't think he'll start anywhere near that over Exultant. But I think Tony Cruz can quinella the race with the 2 sort of class horses in the race, 2 and 1. And then the 2 sort of up-and-coming horses, which is Savvy 9, who did win the Group 3 last time, off 113, and Glorious Dragon, who does carry 113 as well. So I went 2, 1, 7, 10.
2, 3, 1, the numbers I like in this contest. Sticking with the Furore on top here. 1 well, 2 back. I thought he had every chance last time out, but he's trialled nicely coming into this, so he definitely gets his opportunity. Liked how Columbus County was taking off ground from Exultant last time out, and course and distance 2 starts for a win and a second placing. Exultant must go in, and Savvy 9 there on a minor line. So 2, 3, 1 and 7.
I think it's the 1, 2, 3 going to fight out the finish, but Fiore, on what we've seen so far this season, I think he might have Exultant's measure once more. That was the Centenary Vase. Still 3 more races to go, all of them on the turf as well. Race number 8, back to a Class 4 race though.